So, welcome everyone. Hope everyone is doing good. Here in Peru is morning. In Germany, it is afternoon. So, today we have a new interview for our segment Swimmers of the World for Relatos de Tamar. Here we have a special guest. Is our interview number 46, Thomas Lurz. The title of this interview is Efficiency in Open Water Swimming, his thoughts about ocean pollution, and swim for causes. So our special guest is Thomas Lurz. He is a World Olympic champion from Germany. Okay, and my name is Rosa Calderon. I am the producer and host of this program. The intention is to exchange experience from swimmers from all the world for our community, open water community here in Peru and Latin American countries. Okay, so welcome, Thomas Lurz. It's a pleasure, it's an honor to have you here. I'm more than happy and glad. I think most people know you, but let's review it. And for the ones who don't know you very well, we're going to review. So, Thomas, you are from Germany. You are an open water swimmer. You have won many gold medals. So, tell us a little bit about you. How do you start this passion about open water swimming? Where are you located in Germany? What are nowadays? What are you doing for living?
So, hello. Thanks that I'm on your show. I'm pretty happy about it. Nice to be here. Nice that I can tell you something about my previous career as an open water swimmer. What I'm doing now, I will tell you later. And first of all, I'm very happy that I can participate in your stream. I started swimming with 8 years old, and I recognized very in the beginning in my career, very early, that the longer the distance is, the better it was for me. Because physically, I'm not a sprinter. I'm not good in 50 freestyle or 100 freestyle. I realized that I'm good in the pool in the 1500, and the longer the distance is, the better I was. Because I had always problems with going in the gym, lifting heavy weight. This was difficult for me, but I realized that I was never tired when I swam a lot of kilometers. My arms never hurt because they are very thin. I did not have a big biceps or triceps, so I can swing my arms around and never get tired. And that was the reason when I realized, unfortunately, or not unfortunately, it was my luck that I was made for long distance swimming. So I started my career in the pool, 1500 meters. I participated at the Olympics in 2004. And then afterwards, I went in the open water swimming because in the pool, I was very weak in the turns, in the flip turns, and the start. And of course, my speed in the 100, 200, or 400 freestyle were too slow to reach the podium in the pool in the 1500. So I try open water swimming, and I realized that this is exactly what I can do. This is exactly what I want. This is exactly where I'm good in. And I started, of course, with 5 kilometers open water, and then did the 10 and the 5. Then 10 was in the Olympic program. Then my focus was always on the 10K. And then I also swam once in my life the 25 kilometers open water, the World Championships in 2013 in Barcelona, Spain. So I competed in more than 20 years in open water swimming. I was in many, many oceans, lakes, rivers, seas, World Cup races, European Championships, World Championships, and Olympic Games. So I can tell a lot about open water swimming. What I'm doing right now is, of course, 10 years ago, I stopped my career because I was just too old and getting weak and getting slow in the training and in the competition. So I wanted to achieve new goals in my personal life and, of course, in my occupational life. So I started working in a bigger company where I'm now a member of the board as a CHRO. That means Chief Human Resources Officer. I'm responsible for the human resources in our company. We are a big company with 6,000 employees and 1.2 billion revenues, and we sell clothes, apparels, whatever, from trousers to sweatshirts, everything what you can imagine, shoes, handbags, or whatever. And we are mostly famous in Germany, Austria, Switzerland, and part of Eastern European. And that's what I'm doing right now. But I still swim every morning from 6 to 7, 4K. Sometimes I go for a run because when I only swim, I gain weight. So I need to be careful. Sometimes I need to run 10, 15K. Then my body weight is the same like in the past. So I'm doing every day at least 1 hour sport in the morning from Monday to Sunday. So I still swim a lot. Of course, I'm much slower than in the past, but still for my ages, I think not so bad.
Great. That's a good, let's say, summary of you, what you have done, what you're doing now. And it's great that you keep swimming, even if you're not competing, but for you. That's great.
Yes. I'm doing this also for my health. I realize that swimming is the best sport for your health, for your joints, for your muscles, for your skin, for everything. So I just can recommend everyone to swim because swimming is very good for your hearts and everything, for your muscles from the head to the toe. Everything is used in this sport. And this is, by the way, the only sport I never get or I never feel pain after the training. When I run a lot, I always feel pain in the joints, in the knees, in the legs, and the muscles. But when I swim afterwards, I always feel more recovered than before. So I can just recommend everyone to train and to swim. It's a nice sport, also to stay healthy.
Perfect. Okay, so move to our next point here, open water swimming career. So tell us a little bit, how do you started, how does that progressing
Yeah,
until you conclude that part of your life?
yeah. As I told you before, I realized the longer the distances, the better I was. And in the pool, I was very bad in the flip turns. So in 2001, I'm born in 1979. In 2001, I tried the first time to participate in the German Championships open water swimming in the 5K. That was quite successful for me because I won the championships and I qualified myself for the World Championships at that time in Japan, Fukuoka. So this was the beginning for my open water career. And until 2002, and that was the Olympics in Athens, I want to compete in the pool. At that time, I did every time both. So I swam in the pool and I raced in open water. But after the Olympics in Athens, I decided for myself just to go in the open water, to stay in the open water and swim not only 5K, so also started swimming the 10K, which is twice more. And it's a little bit different between swimming 5K and 10K. That is a difference. I needed to learn that. At the beginning, I thought it's nearly the same, it's just twice more, but you need to take more care about the energy, about the drinks, about your energy gels. In the 10K, it's absolutely necessary to take something. In the 5K, I never took anything during the race. So, and then I focused myself in the open water in the 10K. Then I participated at the Olympics in 2008 in Beijing. There I won the bronze medal. In between, at the World Championships, I won several gold medals and silver medals. And for me personally, it was always more easy to swim or to have better results at the World Championships instead of the Olympics. And then in 2012, I was second at the Olympic Games in London. And then the year afterwards, I competed at the World Championships in Barcelona. There I also won the 25 kilometers. I wanted to swim this distance once in my life, so I did it at the World Championships, which was quite successful for me. And then in 2015, I stopped my career. So in the last 10 years of my career, I only swam in open water races. I gained a lot of experience to swim in the sea, under tropic conditions, in cold water, in salt water and fresh water. For me personally, the best conditions were around 22 to 24 degrees in the fresh water. Choppy conditions was for me okay. It was fine. I could handle that. But for me, the personal problem was when the water temperature was under, let's say, 17 or 18 degrees, because at that time we are not allowed to swim in the wetsuits. So it was quite cold for me to swim 2 hours in 16 degrees. That was the only conditions I had really problem with that. I never had problems in very hot water, and I never had problems in choppy water. So for me personally, it doesn't matter if we swim in the sea or in the fresh water or in a lake, whatever. That was for me okay. I think the best thing for me at the time I swam in the open water races was that you needed to swim also quite fast in the pool in the 1500 meter. At that time, I swam around 15 minutes in a long course, which was good for me, but not enough for the Olympics to win gold medals or any medals in the pool, of course. So I said to myself, you need to stay in the open water. And there, it's just for me the longer distance, and it was much more easy to fight with me against myself and against the opponents in open water. That was quite fun for me.
Nice. Nice how you evolve your open water career and how you recognize what is in what specialty you are best or you feel more
Yeah,
comfortable. So you recognize
yeah,
pools are not like I'm
yeah.
not so fast, but open water swimming, yes, and then you go for it. So that's a good choice. So great. Okay, so move to our next point, achievements and work behind them. I put these two together because sometimes we normally, let's say, highlight achievements,
Yeah.
but those achievements don't come for free. Normally, those achievements are the result of a lot of efforts, things we done differently. And so I would like to have these 2 points together explained by you.
Yes. That's a good idea from your side because the achievements are only one thing, but the way to go there and the way to achieve your goals and your medals or whatever you wanted to achieve, it's much more difficult. And you see only the victory ceremony and the medals, but the way to go there is much harder because if you want to win 10 times, at least you need to lose 100 times. That's the normal way. It's always hard everyday training. So in total, I was the 12 times world champion and I won 2 medals at the Olympics and 5 times European champion. But the work behind was I started with 8 years and I swam in a year around 3,500 kilometers. I swam 11 training sessions a week in the pool and six on the dry land. And I swam between, I don't know, 6 to 12 kilometers for each training session. It depends on which period of training I was. So it was a lot of mileage, a lot of kilometers I did in my life, always in the same pool. It was very important to have some competitors in my training. I had always good training colleagues and, of course, good coaches who prepared me for the training. But at the end, if you want to ask me what was the key to success, was the sustainable training, the continuous training day by day. And of course, I had a lot of training sessions where I was very tired and I don't want to go to the swimming pool. But exactly these are the training sessions which at the end makes a champion out of you. And you should never, never skip one training session because you're tired or your arms are hurting or whatever. So after or for every achievement, you need to train a lot. That's my key message. And you need to train a lot of kilometers to get the gold medals. And you don't need to be the strongest or the biggest, the tallest, or the swimmer or the athlete with the highest talent. So you need to be that kind of person who works the hardest and especially works in a continuous way. That's the most important thing. Never skip a training.
Great. Okay, so never skip a training. That would be the key to resume this part. Thank you for that advice. Okay, so next is how to be efficient when practicing
Okay.
open water swimming. Because even if we are a beginner or have some experience, normally how because well we are not water creatures. We are creatures that walk. We don't naturally move in the water. So how to be efficient when moving through the water, and especially on open water swimming. So that would be this question.
Yes, you need to practice this a lot because swimming in the pool and in the open water is much more different. I don't want to say much more difficult. It's not, it's just different. And your technique need to be done or need to be ready for open water swimming. Open water swimming, you can swim in a lake, which is nearly the same than in a swimming pool. But you can also swim in the sea where it's very choppy and very cold. It's completely different. So you need to be able to change your technique and your mindset. At first, your mindset need to be clear that the rough conditions in the sea are given. Every one of your opponents need to swim under the same conditions. So first of all, it's very important if you want to be efficient to have the right mindset and to accept the nature, because swimming in the sea is accepting the nature, is accepting the temperature, the waves, and everything what you can imagine. So it don't make sense to be weak in your mindset, and it doesn't matter if you swim faster or better in a water temperature which is maybe 3 or 4 degrees warmer. Nobody cares about the conditions. Everybody cares about the results. So at the end, to be efficient is the first thing is to have the right mindset. And then at second, you need to train in open water. You need to train how often you need to breathe, and you need to train how you can orientate yourself in open water. Mostly you need to find something on the shore where you have an orientation. This can be trees, this can be buildings or whatever it can be. So there is something you need to swim, or there's something you need to orientate for your swimming. It's good if you do it before your competition or before the competition day to have the right way and the right structure.
Okay, so this is very important, I think, because normally when we go open water swimming, whether of practicing just or in a competition, we just go, and sometimes we don't check the place before, or the let's say what would be our point of reference outside the water. Sometimes the boys, the boy, um, through the currents move. So it's not like this, but we need to do
Yes.
this. And yeah,
Yeah.
so that's a great tip. Thank you. Okay, so move to our next point is what aspects we should consider to be efficient in the water.
Of course,
And
having the right technique, you need to have a good coach who consider the right technique to be efficient in the water. Swimming is very difficult in terms of your technique, in terms of how your body situation is in the water. It's very, very important that you spend a lot of time in your technique, in your skills, to improve yourself in every training, that your technique is the fastest and the most efficient way how to go through the water. Sometimes it's good if you have a coach to, of course, that or she can have a look on it. If not, just you can film it via iPhone or mobile phone. Nowadays, it's much more easy. Even underwater, you can film it very good. So the technique or the digital options you have where you can film your own technique is much more easier than 10, 15, or 20 years ago, of course. So you need to be very good in your personal technique, and this is the most important thing, that you take care about your technique, not only about training volume and pushing very hard in the training. This is, of course, also one thing which is very important, but your technique need to be the right one. Yes.
perfect. Okay, so technique go first. Okay, moving to our next question. What need to be in mind? What we need to have in mind when trying to to swim faster?
A very good concentration, also the mindset. You need to take care again of your technique, because mostly when you start swimming fast and it's getting harder and your heart rate goes up, you lose your focus and your concentration. And then you're starting to be in a specific role that you fight against the water, against yourself. So you need always to be very calm and think about your technique, exactly what you learned. And you need to know exactly how long is your distance. You need to take, or you need to have the right feeling for your body, how much power you need to save and how long the distance will be in total, that you have exactly the right mindset for it, and then you can share your power over the overall distance, that you have, of course, the fastest time at the end. This is quite important. And of course, at the end, you need to motivate yourself, because swimming faster means also pain in your body. You need to know why you are doing this. You need to have the right goal in your mindset, why you want to swim faster. And yeah, maybe if it's in the training, you need to have in your mind the next competition, for example.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so moving to our next point. Can you share with us five of your favorite exercises to warm up, for example,
Yeah,
if possible?
sure. Some freestyle technique, that's catch up. So one arm and the next arm, and then sometimes to two left arms, two right arms. This is important. From a warm up, I always like to swim some medley, because you swim every strokes. That helps you a lot. I like to swim in the warm up with the pull kick. One lap just doing the kicks, one lap just swimming with the arms. So a pull kick to have in between the legs is important. Yeah, these are the exercises I would to recommend.
Great. Okay, so talking about ocean pollution, can you tell us your experience in this regard?
Unfortunately, I have many experiences of this. I would wish to have no experience about pollution, but unfortunately, we have in the oceans many pollutions. I swam in several oceans where the water was really, yeah, I would say dirty, or a lot of rubbish was in the water, especially in harbors. When we swim in harbors, in big harbors, you realize that unfortunately the humans don't take care a lot about the ocean and about the nature, which is unfortunately a big mess. And we should take a lot of more care about the oceans, because we have the ocean only once in our life. And of course, there are living animals in the ocean, so we also need to take care about their environment. They want to live also a healthy and good and long life. So, unfortunately, yeah, we don't take care a lot about the ocean and about the pollutions. If we would, we had less of them. The only thing what I can recommend is every one of us should take care of that, and that maybe we have a better world in the future.
Okay, yes, yes. I think we are, here in Peru, we also have issues with the ocean pollution, some oil spill, garbage.
Yeah.
And open water swimmers normally have like a close view with that because we found things in the water. We smelled. So yeah, that's something that well we need to try to work on it, talk about it at least. And what could be what do you think we should do in our daily basis or day to day to fight ocean pollution? Because sometimes people say, okay, it's a big problem. I'm not the president. I cannot send create new laws, but some
Yeah,
ideas maybe.
we can take a little bit, take everybody, I think, of us can take more care about plastic, for example, that we don't consume so much plastic, because plastic is something what we will find in the ocean in many things, and then makes the animals sick, make us sick. That is something what everyone around the world can do, because some people, of course, don't live close to the ocean, so they cannot go there and do something. But if you're using plastic, this is something what, yeah, for sure in the future will help every one of us.
Okay, so yeah, one one easy thing, try to don't consume a lot of plastic. Okay, thank you. And talking about swimming for causes, any experience you would like to share with us about it?
Yes, I did a lot of swims also for charity reasons, for example. That was, first of all, quite fun, and it's absolutely necessary if you have something that you can, or what you motivates you. And swimming for charity is something what I can recommend because many people can come together, race together, and then get some refundings for a very charity reason, which is very nice. I had a lot of competitions around the world with people organizing such kind of races. Um, this is something, yeah, what I can recommend, and there can exist many charity reasons for what you can spend the money for. So this is something what I also can recommend in total.
Great. Okay. And if swimming would be the fuel for helping causes, what could be your favorite cause to support?
I would like to, yeah, help kids, children, whatever, children um, who are sick or need help from adults or raising some money. Helping for kids is something what I would do. Yeah.
Okay, kids. Yeah, great. And let's check on possible questions we may have received from our audience. I have, I think, one. Let me check. And we are almost finishing our interview. I have one here. If if you could, let's say, go back from the future to your, let's say, children, one
Mm-hmm.
like 7 years or something.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, what would you tell him?
Mm-hmm. I would tell him that he should be continuous in training. It doesn't matter what you're doing, if you're sports or learning for a school lesson or a school subject or university, or it doesn't matter. You always need to be very strict in your trainings. If you're always doing that, you will be successful at the end, and then it makes also fun. By the way, achieving your goals is always fun, even if the training or the learning for that is not always fun. But this is something I would recommend. Do every day a little bit. It's more than once doing a lot and then 2 weeks nothing.
Great, thank you. Okay, so well, we are like um, cover all of our questions. So thank you very much for that, for having the time. So um, your final words for global open water community, especially Peru, which is our home here.
Yes.
Mexico, Chile, all countries that follows this program, Retos Alta Mar. And any piece of advice for any person who wants to start this sport?
Mm. So first of all, thanks that I can be here. I wish you all the best, especially to Peru, Mexico, and Chile. You have quite beautiful nature over there, so use it. Swim in the open water. You have many countries around the world which has not so good options like you have. So go in the open water, swim there. And my advice is yeah, try to do it. Swim always near to the shore, especially at the beginning, that nothing can happen. And if you are very good in open water swimming, so then you can conquer the world and swim over channels or whatever you want to. Um, so this is something what I will recommend. And the older you get, the better it is, because swimming is the best and most healthy sport from all of other sports. So just go into open water, do your best, and train continuously and win against yourself, fight against yourself, and it's getting hard. That's the way how we want to have it.
Great, nice words, and I think everyone is paying attention. and is going to consider for the personal uh, life, sport, and activities in general. So thank you. Okay, so well, it's time for me to say to send you a super thanks, Thomas, for this time we have shared. I really appreciate it. I think this interview, this chat is going to motivate a lot of people, especially our young people here. So, well, really appreciate it. And whenever you have time to visit Peru, if you have in mind at some point, let us know so we can show you our places to go swimming. Here we have the water is cool, 16, 16, 16 degrees, but the other beaches are 18.
Yeah.
Our lagoons are in summer in 18. We have
Mhm.
here the Titicaca Lake, which is in summer also 18. So if in any moment you have any plans, just let me know. Would be nice.
Thank you very much.
Thank
All
you.
the best.
Thank you, Thomas.
Goodbye. Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.